To achieve a lot of success in life, you must be a leader. All of your role models, your favorite musician, entrepreneur, YouTuber, has led other people to achieve their own vision. I've had leadership experience as president of Warwick University's largest cultural society, where we had 650 paying members, and I led a team of 30. My leadership was a success and led to a doubling in our membership base, our first ever international tour, which was in Lisbon, and a surprise performance from the music producer Steel Bangles. So if you're a team leader, a parent, an influencer, or just someone who wants to achieve a vision through leadership, then stick around for 3 key tips on becoming a better leader. To begin, my presidency taught me that yes, leadership is about sharing your vision with a group of people, but even more important than that, the best leaders are able to motivate their team. Because think about it, as a leader you could be charismatic, confident, with the best ideas, but if the people around you are demotivated, you will ultimately lose. Whereas if your team are motivated, they want to work hard and they're excited about their work, then you will win and you will achieve all the goals that you personally want. So the 3 tips I'm going to share right now will teach you how to better motivate your team, which in turn will make you a better leader. The first way to motivate people is to support their ideas. There's nothing more rewarding than thinking of an idea in your head and a few days, few weeks, few months later, seeing that idea right in front of you. For me personally, I had the vision to bring the music producer Steel Bangles to our final ball, and it was a complete surprise, and I'll never forget the moment that Bangles came out. Everyone went ballistic because no one knew about it, and I have this vision in my head right now of there was grown men just screaming and they were so excited to see him. And at that very moment I thought back to when I was sat on this chair, on this desk, and I had that idea to have Bangles to be at our ball. It was one of the best feelings of my life, seeing that vision that I had in here in front of me. And this is not unique to me. People in your team will work 10 times harder if they're able to work on something that they've thought of, as opposed to something that you've just told them to do. So yes, as a leader, it's important to set a vision, and sometimes if people in your team are straying out of that vision with their ideas, you can tell them. But at the same time, you also need to support their ideas and their vision, and sometimes understand that they will come up with better ideas than you. And the benefit you will get from supporting their ideas is, 1, you have more creativity within your team, because as I said, sometimes your team will have better ideas than you do, and 2, your team will work much harder because they're actually working on things that they're passionate about, because it's something that they've thought of. Just to note, I've made a video on listening which will help you better take on the ideas that your team gives you, and I'll link it somewhere here at the end of this video. The second tip to motivating your team is to give specific praise. And what I mean by this is to literally just call out when people in your team do a good job on something. For me, I used to ring up people in the marketing team and they'd probably be thinking, oh, what does Covey want now? But all I do is I just say to them, hey, I've just seen this post that you've just done, and I just wanted to say a huge well done. I could see you purposely made it this font, or you blurred the background, and I just wanted to say thank you. I learned that when your team work on things, they often think about really specific details that you as a leader may not really consider. And so when you mention those details, they get really happy about it and they feel really good. And they're also more likely to repeat those details in the future. And a quick bonus tip on giving specific praise: if your team does an extra good job on something, just give them something small like a box of chocolates, and again, they will just feel really good if you're able to do that. The third tip to motivating your team is to lead by example. Firstly, you need to decide the culture that you want to have within your team. It could be people being hardworking, having integrity, or staying calm under pressure. Then you need to make sure that you uphold these standards at all times. Don't just tell them, okay, this is how you need to now act. You need to act in that way, because people learn best through action. And if you're telling them, guys, stay calm under pressure, but when the first thing goes wrong, you just flip out at everyone, they're gonna learn from that and they're gonna start acting like that as well. A very quick example where I actually used to lead by example in a wrong way: I used to turn up late to the meetings for the society, and I saw over time that everyone else would start to come late as well, because no one's going to follow me when I say come on time if I've been coming late. So it's really important as a leader to lead by example. I want to end on this mindset, and that is for you to take responsibility for your team being motivated. If your team aren't working hard enough, then perhaps it's your fault, because it's partially your responsibility to keep them motivated. And yes, if after following all of these tips your team still aren't motivated, then perhaps you can look for alternatives. But until then, take responsibility for your team's motivation. Act on just one of the tips that resonated with you most right now out of support their ideas, give specific praise, and lead by example, and you'll be much more likely to achieve your goals.